The Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System, or VAERS for short, is a national program of CDC and the FDA that monitors the safety of vaccines. And more than 12 million doses of the Gardasil vaccine have been given since it was introduced in 2006. And Gardasil is manufactured by the Merck company, and they're the biggest manufacturers of the vaccine. Since it was first licensed, there are less than 7% reported serious side effects, which is half of the average vaccine. So it seems to be pretty safe. Oops, let me go back to the conclusion. So in summary, we've talked about what the human papilloma virus is, that is very common, and most of us have probably been exposed to it. We have also discussed the symptoms. We've discussed that the virus causes cervical cancer and genital warts. We've gone over the pros and cons of the vaccine being mandated by the government. But in conclusion, I think that the benefits far outweigh the risks of this vaccine. And as I stated before, if there was a vaccine for AIDS, don't you think a lot of people would be out there trying to get it? And this is a very important vaccine, and I think in the future will be shown, and the evidence is pointing to the fact that it will be a big reason for a decrease in overall cervical cancer rates in the United States and worldwide. Okay, any questions?
You've been focusing on adolescent females, and that's the FDA indication for it, but is there any information on its use in males?
There's not a lot of evidence yet about using it in males, but they are researching using it in males as well, because of course, you know, they have the virus too, so they can be spreading it to their female partners. There is research going on right now. There's no HPV vaccine specifically made for males at this time. Anything else?
I did have another question. In your research, did you come across any sort of cost-benefit ratio? The argument that, you know, as a negative against this man being mandated, that the cost of it, but in your research, did you come across any figures that would show that if there was a reduction in cervical cancers, that would reduce overall medical cost burden for the insurance companies and the taxpayers?
I did come across some research that stated it would be an overall benefit, but I don't have exact figures or anything. The cost to give the vaccine, if you were paying out of pocket, would be $120 for each one, and it has to be given in 3 doses over 6 months. So the overall cost would be $360 to have the series if your health insurance does not pay it.
Well, in general, it seems that most treatments for cancer, if you include surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation, often approach $400,000 to $500,000 per case. It would seem to be a
definite
extremely
benefit.
valid argument.
I agree.
So if you get this vaccine, does it protect you for life?
Well, but they're doing some research on that. They think that the vaccine will only last approximately 5 years, but they're not sure. So it's possible you may have to have a booster shot somewhere down the line. Just like tetanus shots only last 10 years. So you may have to have a booster shot at some time. They're not sure yet. They're just doing the research on that.
But they're finding out a lot of the vaccinations that we've been receiving over the past few decades, the hepatitis B vaccination probably needs to be boosted every 10 to 15 years.
That's right, and that's not conclusive either.
Right.
Yeah, that depends on your family doctor. Usually they test you first to see what your titer is, to see if you're still immune from the vaccine or not. Any other questions? Well, thank you all for coming.
Thank you.